Hi there. Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to speak to you.
Sure.
Maybe you could begin with a brief introduction to this amazing documentary. For people who don't know anything about it, what can they expect?
It's not just a music, collaboration. There's a story to it. Especially my fans around the world. So I focused on, one of my fans whose wife actually sadly passed away. But
And of course, you've already done a multitude of things throughout your career, but actually directing a documentary was one of the things you hadn't yet. Maybe you can talk a bit about the genesis of the project, why now is the right time. And I know it was sort of born out of this period we all lived through during the pandemic, where actually we couldn't connect with each other, we couldn't go and see live music. So tell us a bit about that.
So I have been involved with a lot of like a music video process, projects, as well as there's a film called We Are X. It's about my band. I was more like subject. At the same time, I was involved for a lot of directing world. So this time, yeah, I was not trying to be a director or anything. I was like just an director. So because I was just organizing this, the process of shooting as well as, editing and everything, and then towards the end we were doing the end credit or beginning of the credit. Who should be director? Like people say, Yoshiki even directing. Like, okay, so yeah, pretty much first time I decided to put my name on it as a director. It was also, not easy to shoot, like especially during the COVID. At the same time, people are doing a lot of like amazing artists are doing a lot of like a living to living room kind of ish music projects. I wanted to do something bigger than life. I wanted to give people excitement, not only just being how do you say contained within the world as like we don't know what's going to be happening. So even though we are facing the COVID problem, something like this, we can do something even bigger than before, something like this. So.
And in terms of this amazing array of collaborators that you have in the film, how did you decide who's going to be there? And I guess it's real testament to the fact that you are able to traverse so many different genres, that you really have a bit of everything in there, from St. Vincent to Nicole Scherzinger to Chainsmokers. But how do you decide on those people, and how did you bring them on board?
Question. So this film is all about like a breaking down the wall, right? So wall divide, cultural, or like all those things. So I wanted to also, how do you say, breaking down the walls of divide genres. So I wanted to work with somebody like Sarah Brightman, who's more like a classical music, the Chainsmokers, more like EDM. St. Vincent, amazing rock, artist. Then yes, and I happen to know Nicole Scherzinger like for a long time, and then yes, I wanted to somehow diversify, more like eclectic, but still like a very amazing edgy artist. So they're not only US, also from Japan or China or Europe, something like that.
And in terms of the actual performance of the music, I mean, it's incredible staging and, underneath this sky, and it's so epic. What were some of the greatest moments of that? And maybe on the flip side, were there any challenges along the way?
It's like I'm very grateful that all those artists actually let me do arrangement. So so I basically, in general, more like a classical, like strings. Actually 6 of them sextet, or more that, more strings arrangement and piano. That's based on it. And based on that, that's a basic. And then I started adding more like a drum, some collaboration as a drums or a guitar or like, Chainsmokers with a bunch of like, DJ and then electric sound as well. So I think every single song, I feel like, wow, this is amazing moment. In terms of shooting, so I had to think about the flow of this film. So in Japan, I was, shooting in Japan. Remotely shooting. Then there's a rain, and then there's a song called Imitation Rain. The rain just, just started falling rain. Like, is just fake rain, or just no? It just started raining. It was just, it was not easy for them to be shooting and dancing at the same, singing at the same time, but it was visually so beautiful. I think there are a lot of miracles happen during this process.
And of course, sort of threaded in between these incredible live performances, there's a lot of archive footage, and you're delving into your own history and, not shying away, I guess, and for some of those really painful moments, losing your father, losing your friend. How do you think sort of experiencing that maybe impacted you as a person in your art, and why do you also feel like it's important to share that, I guess, rather than hide that away?
So it has not been easy to, going through these like death of loved one. But at the same time, so because I went through this kind of pain and suffering, with more sadness, more pain you get, you may be able to give more love towards the people. Then I happen to be an artist, so almost I feel like my mission, I could easily being just sad and crying, then not doing anything. I was like, use this. How do you say? I'm kind of positive thinking person. Kind of weird for me to say that because I'm also fell into the red dark place a lot, a lot of times. But use this, I experienced this. Like, why can't use this experience to use this to support people? So creating this film is kind of like also giving me, in every single process, giving me a strength to move forward. So it's like helping people is helping me as well. So,
and as it's kind of really clearly captured in the film, I think someone says at some point, it seems like there's nothing you can't do, and everything you do so beautifully. Is there anything you can't do, or is there any like itch you'd like to scratch? An instrument you've never played, a genre you've never tried? Is there anything left on your list?
This again is pretty much first my directorial work. So I director. So yeah, all those process. Then also, that was the film I created was documentary. But since this film happened, I'm getting offer to creative narrative, and that's like this film actually opened up a lot of doors. Like, I was not thinking that way, but just life is very strange. I just wanted to support people, I wanted to help my fans, and then it's
And
interesting.
in terms of the impact of your film, what do you hope people take away? I mean, I think there's just so much positive to take away. It can be very inspiring to people, but also the importance of connecting with others and channeling, I guess, even if someone has something negative that happens in their lives, into something positive, which is an incredible message.
Yes, I think like world kind of can be cliche, but world needs more love. Why do we hate each other? Well, I'm not saying in general, some of the the countries happening, like there's the war going on. There, like why can't we help each other? Why can't we like spread more love? So I think that this kind of subject is always, and world needs this kind of subject always, but more than ever, We went through COVID and everything, but we are still like in the middle of a lot of painful things happening. So I want people to watch this film and then how do you say, take away like importance of love. At the same time, yeah, nothing is impossible, So there's nothing you cannot do. So no matter what kind of like environment you are in, or like what kind of situation you're in, you can accomplish, So that's kind of wanted to send that kind of message through this film.
And just finally, what have you got coming up? I know you're doing lots of live performances in different places all over the world. Have you got any further ones between now and Christmas or early next year?
So I'm doing a lot of how do you say, premiere screening for this film, which I'm very grateful. I just finished my classical world tour. I was playing the orchestra. Here in London, I played Royal Albert Hall, in US Carnegie Hall, then several more places. Also, I don't know. I'm going to Paris tomorrow. I just got here from Los Angeles today, but I'm doing fashion too. So yeah, it's a completely different thing. I also released my champagne. Champagne like last week in Tokyo. Yeah, so it's all about art. I'm doing a lot of things, but
Amazing.
I like it.
Thank you so much for sharing all that with me, and I can't wait for everyone else to see Under the Sky. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Lovely to chat to you. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.